To today's trade of the day, and for today's trade of the day I'll be looking at the Aussie franc. So for the Aussie franc, you can look at it, we're taking a look at it on the weekly time frame, or taking a long-term look at it, and you can see immediately that if I draw this up ascending trend line, the trend line has been broken, came back for a retest, and looks to be pushing much lower. Okay, so if you look on a daily, all right, it gives you pretty much the same picture, right? This ascending trend line has been broken, all right, and now it looks like if I draw a descending trend line connecting all the highs, it looks like it's making a descending trend line, all right, consistent market structure where you have this high, this low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. All right, looks like it could be coming for another lower high and then big push back down again. All right, so that's on the daily time frame. What we're going to do is basically go down to a smaller time frame like the 1 hour. All right, and that's where we can look for our short entries. I'll just remove that trend line. All right, and immediately on the 1 hour, you can see that the high, this low, this high, this higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, the last higher low, another higher high, and now the market pushed downwards to make this lower low instead. All right, so the market structure has changed. All right, for me it looks much more bearish. Okay, so what we're going to do is basically try and find an entry to enter on the short. What we can do is I immediately see this level. All right, let me change that to entry. Okay, so this is a really strong level. It has been tested as a support twice before price broke through, really strong breakthrough, and then now price pulled back to retest it as a resistance. So this is a pullback resistance level, and in fact if I draw a Fibonacci retracement from high to low, immediately you can see the 61.8% is right there. Okay, so now that you have your entry level, the next thing you need to look for is your stop loss. And for my stop loss, I will just put it above this high. All right, you can see that price came up to test it before rejecting, came up again, and now it rejected as well. So what I'll do is put my stop loss slightly further up, right, to give my trade a little bit of breathing space. And after your stop loss, you want to look for take profit 1, all right, and also another take profit level as well. Okay, so these two will be your take profit levels. All right, and if you take an extension, extensions are basically zigzag patterns in the market. So from this high to this low and to this high again, you'll basically see the 61.8% and the 100% matches with our take profit levels. All right, and then if I were to open the original retracement that I drew for our entry and open up the negative 61.8% for our target, you can see the negative 61.8 is at our second take profit. So what we're expecting price to do, all right, after it has pushed up to retest the entry, is to push down to our take profit or push to our second take profit as well. All right, let's take a look at indicators. If I have to open stochastics, all right, open stochastics and change the levels. All right, 34, and I'll be looking at a percentage D. All right, I'll change that to percentage D. All right, right there, and you can see, all right, if I were to put up a resistance, you can see that price has already reacted at our resistance level. Let me just change that to resistance dotted so it's easier for you guys to see. All right, you can see that price has already reacted at our resistance and pushed lower, and you can see every time price came back to stochastics came back to test that resistance, it pushed lower, price also pushed lower once it came up to test, and then when it's rejected, price also rejected. So now that it has come up to retest that resistance on stochastics, it has pushed lower, and what we're expecting price to do is also to push lower as well. So that's what I can see on Aussie franc. All right, thank you. Thanks guys for joining me on today's trade of the day. I wish you guys all the best. Trade safe and stay safe.